Hi everyone, I'm Shelly and you're watching There's No Place Like Home. Have you ever had one of those ideas that you happen to come across and you thought to yourself, how in the world did I never think of this? Well, this happened to me the other day as I was scrolling through Instagram. So I just wanted to share this with you because I love this homeschooling idea. A lot of you have asked me if I have ever used Julie Bogert's Brave Writer program, and I have not used Julie Bogert's Brave Writer program. In fact, I've never read her book either. And a lot of people have expressed that there are some similarities between her philosophy and mine. And as I was scrolling through Instagram the other day, I came across an image that someone had created of an idea that Julie, why do I keep calling her Jolie? Anyway, Julie Bogert had presented for homeschooling. And that is the idea of seasonal homeschooling. And her idea is to do classical education in the fall, unit studies in the winter, and unschooling in the spring. And the whole premise behind this is because a lot of times when we start out a new homeschool year, we are rearing to go. But as time starts to wind down, especially after the holidays, the oomph just isn't there anymore. That zest for wanting to do all the things just isn't there anymore. And then once spring rolls around, the warm weather really gives everyone spring fever. And the last thing that a lot of people want to be doing is sitting inside doing hours of work instead of being outside enjoying the sun. And that's why she came up with this idea, is just you should use your own inclinations for how the seasons affect you, how the seasons affect your kids. And those are the homeschooling methods that you should use. So you should do, the harder stuff, the more academic stuff when you're all rearing the go. And once the holidays are over or it's wintertime and you kind of have the winter blues, you do those fun unit study activities. And then once spring rolls around, the sun is out and it's finally warm, flowers are blooming, take that time, spend all your time outdoors, or at least a lot of your time outdoors, and take advantage of the unschooling method. And I think this is a phenomenal idea. Now for me, since I'm a year-round homeschooler, I'm going to have to change it a little bit for myself, but that's the nice thing about homeschooling, is that you can kind of tweak it to meet your family's needs. And I'm also going to change the actual homeschooling styles, not completely from what she had, but again, this is just one of those things that you do what fits your family. So what I am really considering doing, and I'm strongly leaning in this direction, is I am thinking of doing a seasonal homeschool for next year. And I'm actually really excited to try it. So now this is the way that I have it, that I'm thinking about it. So first of all, rather than classical homeschooling, I think that I will do what I'm going to call foundational homeschooling, where we really work on those 3 R's for that portion of the year. Now, unit studies are a given. You know that I'm going to do the unit studies, so that doesn't have to change at all. And as for the unschooling, I will do what I'm going to call almost unschooling, because I think that I'll still do like a read aloud, and I might have maybe some math drills or something going on. Because since I did do unschooling with my kids for 2 years, I know that for us, it was really hard to work math in, other than with like baking and measuring and things like that. I really want my kids to be able to keep those foundational math skills. So I'm going to do an almost unschooling portion of the year. So if you're interested in what my year might look like next year, what I'm thinking it will look like, our first day of school will, Lord willing, be July 12th. And so what we do is we separate our homeschool year into 6-week increments. So 6 times 6 is 36. So that gives us 36 weeks out of the year. So we're going to be doing school from July 12th to August 20th. And I'm going to start out our new homeschool year with an almost unschooling approach. So it won't be too hard of a transition for my kids when, they know that their friends and everyone else is off of school for summer vacation. And that is always something that, even though my kids like having off for Christmas, sometimes they're a little jealous of their friends who have off the whole summer, but then they completely are glad that they did it because, we get that 6-week break at Christmas. But doing an almost unschooling from July 12th to August 20th, I think will be a nice transition. And so what I'm planning on doing, now this is really just for the middles right now. I'll work something out for what my teens are going to do. They'll probably do something similar, is I think that we'll do something like Bible, always Bible, read aloud, always a read aloud, and then maybe times tables or some other math drills, and then they will just do self-directed learning then for the rest of the day. So then we take a little break. So then from August 30th to October 8th, I'm thinking of doing 6 weeks of foundational learning where they will really work on those 3 R's. So for our foundational learning, I think what we're going to do, and this is always tentative, is Bible, read aloud, spelling, silent reading, language arts, and math. So yeah, all those basics. Then we take another break, but then from October 18th to November 19th, I think that we will just continue with that foundational learning, and that will take us right up until our 6-week Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's break. So then when we come back January 3rd, after that 6-week break, from January 3rd to February 11th, we're going to do 6 weeks of unit studies. So it'll probably be basically the same thing that we do now with unit studies, just 2 unit study activities. So on those days, I'm thinking Bible, read aloud, cursive, 2 unit study activities, and math, their regular math program. And then we will take our week break. And then from February 21st to April 8th, unit studies again. And then we'll take that other break. And then from April 18th to May 27th, so the last 6 weeks of school then, so when spring starts up and all the flowers are out, that is when we will do our other 6 weeks of almost unschooling. And I haven't even talked to my kids about this yet. I think that they're going to be really excited because they do miss their unschooling days. A lot of times they will ask me if we can start unschooling again. And I just don't feel comfortable enough for us to do complete unschooling. Plus, I know that we do really need the routine that homeschooling brings us. And it really does give my kids a lot of ideas for things to learn about. But this is going to let them get that out of their system a little bit. And I think that it's going to be a nice change for all of us. It's nothing too drastic because it's things that we are already doing. But instead of doing them all throughout the year, we'll kind of take a more seasonal approach and maybe take a more focused look at different subject areas in different seasons of our homeschool. And I'm really excited to try it. That's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one here or on Instagram. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And I hope you have a great day.